now and on 4 separate occasions, the We the People Foundation has sponsored meetings in Washington, D.C. to try to bring together in one place various tax researchers from across the nation and IRS officers in order to discuss the alarming conclusions reached by the tax researchers that there is no bona fide law that requires most Americans who live in the 50 states to file and pay the so-called income tax. Each meeting has seen the tax researchers come to Washington from across the nation, but has also seen the IRS officials refuse to attend those meetings where they would have had the opportunity to show the law that proved where the tax researchers were wrong.
A CPA before I started at the IRS. I started at the IRS in 1988. Any Internal Revenue agents in here? Any FBI agents in here? Anybody? Go ahead, stand up. I like to talk to you guys. I like to educate you. But in 88, I started at the IRS. I was there. I started off as a revenue agent. I ended up as a revenue agent. I just, went up several steps while I was there. I left in 95. Now, I'm going to tell you what went on while I was there, first of all. For the first thing is, I wanted you to know that most of the time, I would say 9 out of 10 times, those revenue agents and revenue officers, they have no clue of any of this information. They don't know what's going on. You make sure you understand everything, not in the code, not in the regulations, but what's in that little booklet. And I made A's on my test. Now, I was not astute enough to think to myself, okay, we're not using the code or the regulations for this. Why aren't we using the code and regulations? I trusted them, thinking that, okay, now these codes and regulations, I'm sure a lot of you have looked at the codes and regulations. First of all, it's thick. Second of all, you have to do this to see it. So I'm thinking, okay, they're saving us some time and energy and some eyesight, and they're putting the information that's in the codes and regulations into these booklets that have much larger writing so that we can understand it that way. Folks, that's not really what was going on. So that's your first pointer. If you know what you're talking about, they bother you less. Why was the ATF there? They're the only ones that have enforcement authority. The revenue officer, the one who levied your bank account, the one who garnished your wages or put the letter out there for that, he didn't have authority. I didn't have authority either. Do you own a safe? You have any money that you got this year that was an inheritance? You have any money buried in the backyard? Yes, that was a question that we had to ask. Did they have any money buried in the backyard? And I had a man to tell me yes, he had money. When they told us that when somebody said yes, we were required to ask him to dig it up. Now, I left the IRS in 1995. That decision that I had to make based on my Christian faith was that I'm supposed to be my husband's helpmeet and I'm supposed to be my mother's children. I am not supposed to be the Gestapo queen. Anybody know Bill Conklin? Bill Conklin had a $50,000 reward in there for anybody who could prove, and I'm paraphrasing, that we owe taxes. And you know, $50,000 to me is a lot of money. I am not able to prove this man wrong after 2 days. So I put it down, maybe a couple of days, and I got back into it. And then maybe after 2 weeks, I discovered this thing is a big hoax. Once I realized that this was a fraud, I immediately started telling people about it. And I am a certified fraud examiner, and I am examining the biggest fraud this country ever had. Let's fast forward. The tax rate is over 50%. Okay, let's go forward more. Who's to say that in 20 or even less years from now, my children are not going to be working 40 hours a week or more and receiving a stipend from the government? Can anybody say that won't happen? Can anybody say that my children won't be more in servitude than I am right now, 15 years from now? I can't let that happen. And also, it's a notice of levy. A real levy, you have to have signed by a judge and no. So I'm just letting you know, if you get one of these notices of levy with my name on it, I would suggest that you not freeze my bank account or take any money, because I'll sue you personally and I'll sue the bank. I'm going to leave this information with you, sir, so you can go over it. If you have any questions, here's my card, so you can give me a call and I can give you further information and I can educate you more. But I just want to let you know that what you're getting from the IRS is not valid. I know a lot of people are scared. You know, they live in fear about the IRS and they think that everything that they get from the IRS is true. But see, here, I'm giving you this information and I'm letting you know that this is not true. This isn't a true levy, you know. So if you have any questions, again, let me know. But, you know, I would suggest that you not bother my bank account. If they send you a notice of levy on me, you can give me a call and we can go over this information and I can show you point by point what's wrong, again, if it's been a while. But, you know, don't take any money out of my account or I'm going to have to be forced to sue you in the bank. Have a good day.